Welcome back to Lifting Between Life. I'm Steve. I'm a dad of 4 young children. I'm 39 years old and I am heading towards my first ever Masters powerlifting competition, which is in a few days' time. I'm going to be doing a few light sessions before then, just to reinforce technique. I don't want to stagnate before the day, but nothing too taxing. Today I was going to do a bit of light squatting, maybe go up to like 60 kilos on the bar, so about 30% of my 1 rep max. And just really dial in that technique and make sure that everything's working as it should be. I've had a tough weekend. I've had man flu, so yeah, I've been feeling really rough, and I still don't feel great now, to be honest. I feel a bit dizzy, and that has got me a little bit worried because I've only got a few days to recover and feel fighting fit to go to a competition and potentially lift the biggest weights I've lifted at this body weight. So yes, I've felt a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit apprehensive. My training up to this point has gone really, really well. But it does make me think, well, in life, you know, we come up against different challenges, and obviously being a frail mortal human, getting sick, getting ill is one of them. So yeah, I'm trying to look at it in a positive way. I'm trying to repackage it and go, well, you've had a really good rest now. You've put in lots of training over the last 6 or 7 weeks, so your muscles are going to be really well recovered. So hopefully that means you'll lift to your optimal amounts on the day. So yeah, but I wanted to talk a little bit about, because it is my first ever Masters competition. I've only ever competed once before as well. And the reason I entered my first powerlifting competition is I struggle in large social situations. I find it quite overwhelming. I'm apprehensive, I get nervous. And that's really why I entered my first powerlifting competition. It wasn't necessarily to try to lift the biggest weights I've ever lifted. It was to actually face my fear of these big social environments. And it was really good. I learned a lot about myself in the first competition. So I'm looking to do the same again in this next one. I'm hoping to also learn from others there who are more experienced, and also to impart some words of encouragement to those people around me. I think that's really important as well. Going into it, I try not to think too much about it. I'm like, it's, you know, yeah, it's a powerlifting competition. You've got your place in the flight there, but don't overthink it. It's not the Olympics, and you're just going to go and you're going to give of your best, and that's that. But the other part of me is like, oh man, it feels a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of guys there are super strong. And I guess the feeling would be slightly intimidated, slightly not worthy to be in that environment. If I'm just being really candid and honest, that's the feeling I get at times. What I really am looking forward to is on the day I have a good friend who's a handler. And I feel that the first competition I did, he was there, and that was really helpful because he kept me right, and he gave me lots of, you know, cues of what to do next, which was really helpful. And so yeah, I'm trying to be as chilled out and relaxed about it as possible, and to not take myself too seriously. I've spoke about this before. I don't need to take myself too seriously. I'm not trying to set any records or anything, although I might have a stab at the bench record if it's still at 160. But yeah, it's to really enjoy that event, enjoy seeing other people, enjoying giving of my best. And that's what I want to do. So yeah, that's it for today, really. I'm going to do some light squats, like I say. I'm going to have a light bench session tomorrow, and I've got 2 days of rest. I don't have any work this week, which is actually really good. Well, I finished my work earlier on in the week, so it means I can rest. I say it like that because it's like I've got 4 young kids, so it won't be like just, you know, vegging out in front of the TV, but I will certainly get to have a break. And I think that's going to be really good. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that day with you. I'll look to post that if I go on Saturday, I'll look to post it on the Sunday. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to sharing that with you. And also if there's anything that I can offer to people that are looking to compete maybe for the first time, or they're still very new to it like me, anything that I learn on the day that might be valuable to other people, and to just really share that experience with you. So if you haven't already, if you'd like to subscribe, you can follow my journey so far up until now, and then see me on the day in a few days' time. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all. So I'm literally going to be working with 50 kilos. I'm going to do 5 sets of 5. I'm just going to reinforce that technique. A few things to remember with the squat, of course, in a powerlifting competition. When you unrack, you will not get the down command until you are obviously stationary and your legs are completely straight, there's no bend in them, and only then will you get the down command. So my focus today is to get those cues like as efficient as possible. The walk out from the rack, for example, I like to do in 2 steps. Any more than that, I'm using energy that I don't need to use. Make sure the legs are straight. Imagine getting the down command. In my gym, I'm not gonna get that, so just imagine it. Brace, big breath in, brace to the core, and then obviously hit depth. In my case, I go like just drop to the ground almost, but you know, in most cases, make sure you hit depth, which is hip parallel to knee at least. So, and then on the way up, obviously complete the lift, straight legs, don't walk back into the rack, wait for at least a few seconds, again simulating the environment of a powerlifting competition where you would then get a rack command, and you could just stand there and wait for the spotters to push you in, or you could walk in at that point. So yeah, let's get into this, just remembering those cues, those commands, and let's see what happens. Well, I know what's going to happen, it's not exactly heavy, but yeah. As I'm training, something else came to mind, and I was thinking about how if you're entering a powerlifting competition and you're carrying out the squat, very essential is to make sure that they measure your height for the squat rack. Because if they don't, and you perhaps miss that part where you get measured for the rack, it'll just be set for a generic height. And that could mean that you're too low or you're too high, both of which are horrific for energy losses, unracking the weight, and also that confidence that you need when you unrack a weight. You need good confidence unracking a weight. If you don't have that, I think if you have a bad unrack, if you have a bad unrack and you think, man, this feels heavy, how on earth are you gonna squat the weight to the ground and then come back up with it? So getting that rack height adjusted to you on the day is very important. Then for me, I find that my unrack has to be positive. It has to be very deliberate, and to step out in 2 steps, no more than that, and to then be set. That helps me to feel positive and good about the lift and really puts me in the right headspace. So I'm gonna practice that now. I'm gonna do 5 reps, but I'm gonna really focus on getting a clean unrack, a very confident step back, which obviously is a lot easier with a lighter weight. And then that, I feel, even for a lighter weight though, sets me up very positively and makes me feel that the set has gone very well. So obviously initially make sure your hands are symmetrical, the right distance apart. The bar is obviously sat on the right part of your back. For me, I have quite a high bar because I've got bad shoulder mobility. And then feet close together, so that obviously when you unrack, you're taller. So brace, core, unrack, 1, 2, back in position, Legs straight, imagine getting the down command, facing forwards, big brace, squat. It's hard to squat when I've said brace. Complete the lift, stand and wait. In a powerlifting competition, just wait and the spotters will put you back in. If I could lift a heavy weight like that, I would be very happy. But obviously, that's what we do, don't we? We practice at the lower end, we really dial it in, get it really efficient, and then it becomes second nature. Once the weight gets heavier, and you're starting to think more about the exponential load on your body and whether you can complete the lift, you're not having to give an overthought to all of those steps that we just spoke about because they're dialed in, they're second nature. Okay, so I'm gonna go and do a few more sets now. I'm happy with how everything is going. I feel like I can definitely simulate this at this lighter weight, a much heavier weight, at least I hope so. The only variable that I was just thinking about was the way this squat is moving. So because it's such a light weight, it is moving very, very quickly, which means my drop in with the weight is very quick. The fact is, once that weight is triple and getting on for quadruple that, I will not be dropping down as quickly. So this set, I'm going to practice everything I spoke about before, but dropping down slowly and then exploding back up as if it was a higher weight. So that's what I'm going to do now. I always do tend to drop the last few inches quite quickly, which I think gives me like that elastic reflex to bounce out of the hole. But certainly the top part, the 80% downward motion to that point should be very slow and controlled. Yeah, happy with that. So just gonna do one more set and finish up for the day. I'll be honest, like I've not squatted for maybe 10, 12 days. The first warm-up set that I didn't record felt horrendous. Maybe I just didn't warm up properly, but amazing once you get 8 or 9 sets in and the body warms up, everything's working correctly, how you can suddenly start to feel like a different human being. So yeah, really happy with how today's session has gone, and I'm going to be benching again tomorrow, and that will be everything finished and completed, ready for Saturday. I'm really looking forward to getting it. I'm looking forward to doing it, I'm looking forward to being there, but I'm also looking forward to when it's done, and if I've done my best and I've given them my best and my total is what I want it to be, then I feel like I'm going to feel really, really happy about that, and then I'm going to take a completely different direction in my training and go down more of a bodybuilding route, especially as it's coming into summer, you know, and increase cardio. Take care of yourselves, and I hope that all of your lifting is going well, life is good, and everyone is feeling positive and happy.